Welcome to the YouTube channel Cognara. I'm Michael, your science and technology educator. Today, I want to explore a question that feels simple on the surface, yet quietly reveals how fragile our place in the universe truly is. What if the sun suddenly disappeared? Not faded away, not exploded, but vanished instantly, without warning, without sound, and without leaving anything behind. At first, nothing dramatic would seem to happen. There would be no flash in the sky. No sudden darkness. No immediate shock to the earth beneath our feet. Life would continue as normal, at least for a short while, and that delay is where the story truly begins. The sun is about 150 million kilometers away from Earth. Light from the sun takes a little over 8 minutes to reach us. Gravity, according to our best understanding of physics, also propagates at the speed of light. This means Earth does not feel changes in the sun instantly. For just over 8 minutes after the sun disappears, Earth would continue to orbit as if nothing had changed. During those 8 minutes, sunlight would still bathe the planet. Birds would still fly. Oceans would still move. Power plants would still operate. Humanity would be completely unaware that the central anchor of our solar system was already gone. Then, gradually, the light would fade. The sun would not set in the usual way. There would be no warm colors at the horizon. Instead, the brightness of the sky would slowly dim, as if someone were turning down a cosmic dial. Shadows would soften, then disappear. The sky would darken into a deep, unfamiliar black, even in the middle of what should have been daytime. At the same time, something far more profound would occur. Earth would stop orbiting. With the sun gone, its gravitational pull would vanish after the same 8-minute delay. Earth, which had been moving sideways through space at nearly 30 kilometers per second, would continue forward in a straight line. The planet would leave its familiar orbital path and begin drifting into deep space. This motion would be smooth, not violent. There would be no sudden jolt felt on the surface. Gravity on Earth would remain almost exactly the same, because Earth's gravity comes from its own mass, not the sun. You would not float away. Objects would not lift from the ground. The danger would not come from motion, but from absence. Within minutes of darkness, temperatures would begin to drop. The sun provides more than light. It provides energy that warms the surface, drives weather, and sustains life. Without it, Earth would begin to cool at a rate far faster than most people expect. Within hours, the temperature would fall below freezing across much of the planet. Clouds would freeze in the sky and begin to fall as snow. Rain would turn to ice. Winds would slow as temperature differences disappear. The atmosphere would start to collapse toward the surface as gases cool and shrink. Plants would be among the first living systems to fail. Photosynthesis would stop immediately. Within days, most plant life would die. Crops would freeze. Forests would become silent. The base of the food chain would vanish, and ecosystems would begin unraveling from the bottom up. Animals would follow. Herbivores would starve as vegetation disappears. Carnivores would struggle soon after. Humans would have only one narrow window of survival, and that window would depend entirely on technology. Cities would plunge into darkness unless powered by nuclear, hydroelectric, or geothermal energy. Fossil fuel plants would fail quickly as fuel supply chains collapse. Solar power would be useless. Wind power would weaken as atmospheric circulation slows. Even with energy, heat would become the most valuable resource on Earth. Underground shelters, insulated structures, and access to remaining power sources would determine who survives the longest. Oceans, which store vast amounts of heat, would slow the cooling process near coastlines, but even they would eventually freeze, starting from the surface downward. Within weeks, the average surface temperature of Earth would drop far below what humans can endure. Within months, much of the atmosphere would begin to freeze and fall as snow-like deposits of nitrogen and oxygen. The sky itself would thin, leaving the planet exposed to radiation from deep space. All the while, Earth would continue drifting silently through the galaxy. No longer bound to the Sun, it would become a rogue planet, wandering alone among the stars. There is another layer to this story that often goes unnoticed. The Sun does not just hold Earth in place. It stabilizes the entire solar system. Without it, the planets would each follow their own inertial paths. Some might drift alone. Others might pass close enough to interact gravitationally, leading to unpredictable trajectories and occasional collisions over immense timescales. Our familiar cosmic neighborhood would dissolve into chaos, not violently at first, but inevitably. It is important to note that none of this requires the Sun to explode or collapse. The mere absence of its mass and energy is enough. This is what makes the scenario so unsettling. The Sun feels constant, permanent, and reliable, yet everything we know depends on it being there, exactly as it is, every moment of every day. And yet, even in this bleak scenario, physics offers a quiet kind of beauty. The delay in darkness reminds us that the universe has a speed limit. Information does not travel instantly. Reality unfolds with structure and order, even in catastrophe. The straight-line motion of Earth after the Sun's disappearance is not chaos, but Newton's first law in action. Objects in motion remain in motion unless acted upon by a force. The Sun's gravity was that force. Without it, Earth simply continues on its path, following the rules of nature with perfect consistency. This thought experiment also highlights something deeply humbling. We often imagine Earth as a self-contained world, but it is not. It is part of a delicate cosmic relationship. The warmth we feel, the food we eat, the climate we depend on, and even the passage of time through days and years are all tied to one star. The Sun is not just a light in the sky. It is the reason Earth is alive. Fortunately, this scenario is purely hypothetical. The Sun cannot simply disappear. It is a stable star, expected to shine for billions of years. When it eventually changes, it will do so slowly, giving life time to adapt or move on. There will be no sudden vanishing act. But imagining this scenario helps us understand the invisible forces that shape our existence. It reminds us that gravity is not just a concept in textbooks. It is a real connection that holds worlds together across unimaginable distances. It reminds us that light is not instantaneous, and that even the universe has moments of delay. Most of all, it reminds us how rare and precious stability is. We live in a narrow band of conditions where life can exist, balanced between extremes. The Sun sits at the center of that balance, quietly providing energy and order, day after day, without drawing attention to itself. The next time you feel sunlight on your skin, consider how much is hidden in that warmth. 8 minutes of travel through space. Nuclear reactions deep inside a star. Gravitational bonds that keep a planet from drifting into the dark. All of it working together, so life can simply continue. Thank you for taking this calm journey with me today. If you enjoy thoughtful explorations of science and the universe, you are exactly where you belong here at Cognara.